What's up, guys? ABC here at the HPP. Adam Coleman, the Human Performance Project. Please like and subscribe if you have not done so already. Thank you to those who've watched the few videos I've put out. First, before I get into my little rant for the evening, because that's kind of what's on the way, so you have the chance to mute me now. We'll talk about training a little bit. Last couple days have been pretty darn good after I bounced back from a couple days of being in the funk. So yesterday I did back, today I did chest. Both very, very purposeful, deliberate workouts as far as the exercises chosen, how many sets were done, all that good stuff. So yesterday deadlifts went really well. I haven't been able to deadlift in a while because I've had some muscle tension in my left hip, and then my lower back. When I put on weight over the last couple months, I did it pretty quickly, and I was getting a lot of tightness in my lower back anytime I tried to squat or deadlift, at least with any substantial weight on it. It was just like I had this massive pump and I couldn't even lift because of it. So I've been working on flexibility a little more, lost a little bit of weight by default, just dieting. 29 days tomorrow from the end of the transformation, so depletion is a real thing as of right now. I feel tiny and miserable, but I know I'm getting lean under all that, so I just trust the process and keep eating my protein and taking my amino acids, right? But anyways, yesterday's back movements, lots of compound stuff, very little machinery involved, and what machinery was involved, it was really just to tax muscles that were already fatigued from the compound movements. So the best I can remember yesterday, it went deadlifts after I did my warm-up, and my warm-ups usually consist of glute and ham activation and cervical mobility work, getting the muscles in my neck, traps, shoulders working and lined up the way that they're supposed to be, so that all my movements are correct, I guess, physiologically, and the muscles are firing the way that they're meant to, and with maximal output. So if you're wondering why there's a Christmas light effect on my face, it's because South Park is on TV. So I got that going for me too. I know how to party. South Park and peanut butter. But anyways, after deadlifts, I did a close grip barbell row. So the row where you have one end of the barbell in a union, usually in the corner of the wall, and you straddle the bar and use usually a close grip row handle. I did 4 sets and went a little higher rep with that. The deadlifts, I did 5x10. The close grip row, I did pyramided up in weight, and I did 4 sets of between 15 and 20 reps. Then I did body weight overhanded pull-ups, a total of 50 of those, just as many as I could till failure, give myself a minute rest, as many as I could till failure, so on and so forth. So 50 pull-ups took me 5 sets. Started out strong and kind of dropped a few reps every set. And after the pull-ups, I then went to a seated row machine, a mid-row, so it really focuses on your rhomboids in between your shoulder blades, kind of work on that upper middle back thickness. And then I went to an underhanded pull down and a cable pull over with a rope, and then I did some hyperextensions in the glute ham chair to finish off. I throw in oftentimes a little bit of hamstring and glute work with my back days. Just kind of the whole back side of my body ends up getting worked. Traps kind of intermittently get worked either on back day and or on shoulder day, which has its own day. So after the hyperextensions, that was pretty much it. I taught a couple classes at Fitness Republic here in Stockton, and then came home, and today did chest and a little bit of shoulders, and 1 tricep movement. And I only did 3 exercises for chest, but it was a brutal workout. And you may be asking, well, how is that possible? Well, I'm about to tell you. So on the chest order of exercises, I went to flat back bench first, which almost never happens anymore. My chest, since I was in high school, probably from doing so many push-ups and from poor posture, just having my shoulders slumped over, my chest was always pretty good sized, and I had it pointed out to me by a sports trainer when I was playing high school football that I ought to do more seated cable rows and focus on my rhomboids because my chest was overdeveloped. So that was something I always had on my side, and I kind of not backed off of training it, but I didn't hit it as hard as I did like my legs and my back and my arms and some of the other lagging muscle groups. So today I kind of flipped the switch on that, and I did a high volume chest workout, even though it was only 3 exercises. The flat back bench being first. Like I said, I haven't done it in that order since probably high school, and I did 10 sets of 15 reps. You heard that correctly. 10 sets, 15 reps, only 60 seconds of rest in between. So I put 185 on the bar, right? And I made it through the first 6 sets, 15 clean reps. And then on the 6th set, I started to have to utilize rest pauses. I failed at 13 on set 6. 7, I think I failed at 12 or 13 again, and I made it to at least or beyond 10 every set. I do know that, but I did have to do some rest pausing on the last few sets, which was fine. I expected that. I was hoping I chose a weight that was going to be challenging, but not have me gassed out after like the second set. So my ego said put on 2 plates. My logic said, you got a little ways to go, Scooter. So for the 10 by 15, I used 185, and it was about perfect. After I finished those 10 sets, I went to incline dumbbell press, and there I only did 5 sets of 12 reps, 10 to 12. And so that one I was using 60-pound dumbbells at first, and then on set number 4, 5, and 6, 3, 4, and 5, I bumped it up to 70s, and I didn't have to rest pause until the 5th set. So I made it till 9.5 pretty much, and then had to finish up 3. After the dumbbell incline press, I went to a cable fly, and that I did only 5 sets. Only 5 sets sounds small after doing 10 though, and it goes by really fast after having to finish 10 sets of the first exercise. But 5 sets of 15 to 20 on the cable flies, and with that I actually cut the rest down to 30 to 45 seconds. And at the end of that workout, man, if I would have tried to wipe my nose, it would look like this. Like I had a built-in chin rest. It felt like my pecs were pumped. After I did that, I did some dumbbell lateral raises just to throw in a little bit of deltoid work, and I did 5 sets of 10 to 12 reps unilaterally, so one arm at a time. I would do 10 to 12 right arm, switch it right over, 10 to 12 left arm, so on and so forth through 5 sets. I did that same protocol for front delts on a dumbbell raise as well, and finished with 5 sets of, actually went a little heavier with that. I had 5 to 10 reps, and really tried to cap off the front deltoid. Yeah, so that was it. It was a pretty quick session. Both of them were an hour max, and my cardio at this point has been all just bicycling around town. On average, I'd say I probably ride 60 miles. Some weeks I'm over 100. Some weeks I'm only like 45 or 50. There was a point in time in my life when I was doing 200 miles a week consistently, and I didn't weigh 182 pounds at that point, but I rode a lot. My lungs and my legs were fit. So I'm liking the way things are going and the way things are looking so far. You know, I'm 4 weeks away, and I could be ready in 2. I think I can honestly say that, as long as I don't have any other slips, which I will not, because it's up to me. When I say slips, I mean dietary leeway. At this point, it's all meat, vegetables, and healthy fats. So I may have one more refeed day, but we'll see how it goes. Just see what my body does. I'm not really even looking at the scale. I weigh myself maybe once, twice a week. the handheld body fat thing says 8.7 this morning, and it's going down little by little every morning. I don't trust it completely as far as the percentage, but as long as it's going down, that's really what I'm looking for. It's just kind of using it as a landmarker. So that's all good. Kind of slowly but surely finding some possibilities as far as a new place to stay in the future, and hopefully that'll come through. Find out this next week, and just taking it a day at a time, man. Got laundry in the washing machine now. Like I said, South Park on TV. Go to work tomorrow morning at 6:30. Do it all again. So if I train tomorrow, it'll be legs, I believe. Legs or arms, depending on how my body feels. If I, for some reason, get absolutely no sleep and feel horrible, then it's going to be an active rest day, which consists of stretching, cardio, abs, and probably calves. So it's not extremely restful, but you know, at least gives the central nervous system a day off from heavy training. And that's about that. Now, the meat and potatoes of this video. Accountability. Man, doing what you say you're going to do, or at least thinking of the other people that were involved in what you said you were going to do and plan to do. Man, I don't know what it is, but I swear to God, I'm gonna age myself here. People under the age of 30 do not know how to tell time. It's either that, or they just really don't bleeping care, because they are chronically tardy, famous for no call, no shows, and you can't rely on them for anything. And I'm sorry if you're watching this and you're jumping up and down saying, not me, nah, I'm 25, I'm 27, I do this, I do that. You know, if it doesn't apply, let it fly, all right? I'm talking to people, and you know who you are, who can't pick up the damn phone to tell someone they're gonna be late. They can't pick up the phone to say I can't make it, even though we already had plans. They can't pick up the phone to ask if a different time would be okay, instead of just assuming and creating all kinds of scheduling problems in other people's lives and not even thinking about it. Not even for a second thinking about it. Man, it blows me away. And to anyone out there listening to this who is under the age of 30, if you're kind of wondering if it's you or not, the only reason this irks me so much is because it gives the impression that you don't care at all. It makes you seem extremely disinterested. It makes it seem as though the person whom you are meeting, their time doesn't mean diddly squat. It does not matter what they have going on in their day. You could give to you know what's, and they can take a flying leap because you got better stuff to do and you're the most important person in the world. That's the message it sends, okay? Do I take it a little more personally than most? Maybe, because I am an appointment-based job person. I'm a personal trainer, you know? Everything is on a schedule. When I'm not being a personal trainer, I'm a bodybuilder. Everything is on a schedule. Meals, sleep, training, yada, yada, yada. I don't expect people to live that way. I don't expect people to change because I live that way. I do expect, if we say on Tuesday night that we're gonna work out at 4 o'clock on Wednesday afternoon, and we don't talk until Wednesday and you don't show up, that's a problem, okay? If you show up at 4:15 and interrupt the workout, that's a problem. If you show up at 4:05, dragging ass, taking your time, wanting to talk about this and that and the other thing, that's a problem, okay? If you show up at 4 o'clock, you're late. On time is 5 minutes early, because when that clock strikes 4 or whatever time you have set, you better be wheels down, ready to rock and roll. And I'm not just talking about the gym. I'm talking about work, school, a date. I don't give a shit what it is. Show up, suit up, and do what you said you were going to do. That is what successful people do, even when they don't freaking feel like it. You know? I understand life happens. People get sick. You know, God forbid, people die. There's emergencies. But there's so many ways we can communicate now. It is incredibly easy for you to make it known that you're not going to be able to keep that commitment, that it needs to change or be rescheduled. That is not a difficult thing to do. If you can operate a cell phone, you can make that decision. It's pure laziness that keeps people from doing it. And, you know, again, I'm not trying to sit here and act like I'm holier than thou, but guys, gals, come on. And then you want to jump up and down and squawk and scream when people don't trust you and don't want to make plans with you because they can't count on you, and act like it's their fault for wanting to do it at a certain time. No. You know, you're gonna get upset with me because I tell you the truth about how your tardiness is perceived and affects people. I'm the jerk because I tell you the truth. Whatever, man. I don't see it that way. If I take the time to tell you something, I'm trying to help you out. And if I take the time to tell you that more than just me thinks this way, because people do, it is not just me. Maybe they won't voice it, maybe they won't voice it as loudly, but it is not just me, because I was taught. I didn't just pop out of the womb this way, okay? So I'm trying to better you. I'm not telling you that you need to change this because I'm trying to be a jerk. And if I hated you and wanted to be a jerk, I wouldn't say a word to you. I just stopped coming around calling. You know? If I'm not screwing with you a little bit, there's a problem. If I'm picking on you, pushing you, trying to encourage you, it means I like you. It means I see something. It means there's potential. Okay? Different people are motivated differently, I understand this. But all in all, we have become a society of overly sensitive, dramatic, hypochondriac, tardy sissies. Straight up, I cannot think of a better word. Sissies. You know? And it's kind of scary and very sad. It affects a lot of things in society. And I see a great deal in the gym, because there are no gyms anymore. There's health clubs. There's lunk alarms for people who are too big and intimidating to the normal person. There's candy on the desk at the gyms because it makes people feel a little more at home. You know, come on. You don't grow when you're comfortable. You don't improve when everything's going just fine. You've got to be out of your comfort zone a little bit. Every person that walked into a gym the first time was intimidated. And then you keep coming back. And then all of a sudden, you're not intimidated. You're helping the wide-eyed person that isn't the newbie. But pass that on and understand that when someone pays attention to you like that, even if it seems like they're razzing you a little bit, they're taking time out of their day to interact with you, man. Like, on some level, that's a compliment. Okay? Like, don't get so butt sore and be like, he picked on me. You know? I mean, and for God's sakes, if you do have something to say, then say it. And say it to their face. Don't say it to two of their friends who might trickle it back to them in some bastardized form that isn't even what you said in the first place. You know, it's like the game telephone. Just cut out the middleman, go straight to the person that you need to talk to, and talk to them. Man, I'll get down off the soapbox now, but I hope that resonates with someone, and I sincerely hope that it's not just me. And I gotta pray for the willingness and understanding to change what I can and let go what I can't, and to be smart enough to know the difference between the two. Woosah. All in all, it was a great day, and I hope it was for you too. Tomorrow is also going to be a good one if I have anything to say about it. And as long as I'm on the right side of the soil, I think there's a pretty good chance of that coming to fruition. So I will talk to you guys tomorrow and let you know what my body decides to let me train or not. I hope you're keeping consistent with your training, whatever it may be, or your goals, whatever they may be. Again, this channel is not just for meatheads and people who are gym goers. This channel is for people who want to be better at whatever it is that you do or want to do. All right? Human Performance Project #1 at gmail.com, The People's Champ on Instagram, or just Adam Coleman on Facebook. drop me some lines, give me some feedback. Please give me some ideas for commentary topics, that's what I meant to say, or commentary on today's topic. And again, thank you for those who are participating and watching. So, love you guys, take care of yourselves, be good humans, stay driven, and I'll see you next time.